Are you presently living off of heaven's economy? Or are you still totally dependent upon the systems of the earth, the economies of the earth, the government of the earth? Are you building anything at all? Are you building out of this world?
This is Climb the Highest Mountain podcast.
Hi, y'all. Welcome to Climb the Highest Mountain podcast, a podcast that's dedicated to pushing you into the deeper things of God, encouraging you to become more in God, because there's actually more that's been prepared for you. In the last few episodes, we began dealing with the issue of Noah and the last age. We titled it as it was in the days of Noah. And the reason why we embark on this journey was because Jesus told us that the exact patterns that were obtained in the days of Noah would be repeated in our own days. And so those of us who have been called to live in the last days, if we want to intelligently navigate the path, navigate these days, if we want to understand what is going on and see how to prevail in this time, then we need to look at Noah and then learn something from Noah, because Noah lived at the end of the age of his age. He lived at the end of the first world, the world that was being destroyed, the world that would be destroyed, a world that would be taken away. Noah lived just like we are living today at the end of the age. Noah lived at the end of the age. And after the things that happened in the days of Noah happened, Noah was brought into a new world. And so when Noah eventually opened the door of the ark and came out of the ark, the first world had gone. He was in a brand new world. He was in another millennia. He was in a fresh beginning. And that's exactly where we're at now, as a people on the face of the earth. We've come to the end of the age, which many people refer to as the end of the world. It's not actually the end of the cosmos or the end of the universe. It's actually the end of an age. This age of sin, this age where we have darkness and the devil and all of this will be done away, and then the age of righteousness will kick in. Another age is what people expect when they talk of going to heaven, when they talk about the after the millennia and all of those things. That age of righteousness is coming, is kicking in right now. And we're standing right here where Noah stood when the end of his own world, was in sight, when the end of his own world was in view. And Jesus said the exact pattern will be repeated in our days. And so what did Noah learn? And what can we learn from Noah? In the first episode, we opened up a theme. And the second episode, we began to look at the fact that Noah built. And today, I thought I would go into something that has to do with the righteousness that Noah had, because that was a distinguishing feature, in the life of Noah. But I feel that the need to stay a little bit on this issue of building, because in the end, it's not about hastening through this podcast to the end, but bringing something across to us. Let me read a portion of scripture in the book of Hebrews chapter 11 that spoke about this. In verse number 7, it says, and this is the ESV translation, "By faith Noah, being warned of God concerning events yet unseen, in reverent fear constructed an ark for the saving of his household." The way the King James Version describes it is, by faith Noah, being warned of things not yet seen, moved, and I like the phrase, he moved. Noah moved with godly fear, and he built an ark. So the point here is that Noah was warned of things that were not yet apparent, of a condition of judgment that would come. And those conditions were not yet here. Those things that God spoke about were not yet here. But Noah, being prophetic, saw in the realm of the spirit something concerning his days, something concerning the last days. We saw also in previous episode that the people in Noah's day were totally ignorant, of the fact that judgment was coming. Even though they heard the warning of Noah, they heard the preaching of Noah. The newspaper or news media in those days may have even carried the event of a crazy man that's building something, but they didn't pay attention to him. Their lives, they continued in marrying and giving in marriage and all of these things. And it's not that anything is wrong in marrying and giving in marriage, but what the scripture is saying there is that their actions did not define that they were aware that something was coming. Their actions did not indicate, any kind of awareness, of the events of the times. And many believers actually today even carry on like that. They have not revised their activities. They have not revised their action, to accommodate the fact that we're living in the last days. We're just carrying on, hoping that salvation would come. Carrying on, hoping that somehow we will make it through. We're just wumbling and fumbling our way forward. just believing or thinking that just because we're Christians, it will be well with us. But that was not how it happened in the days of Noah. Noah was strategic. Noah was deliberate. Noah heard something in the realm of the spirit. Noah had a prophetic revelation that others did not have. On the basis of that, Noah began to move in godly fear and to construct something. Noah was deliberate. He was intentional. He had a pattern for what he was doing. Noah did not just sit and wait it out that, well, since he's kind of righteous, since God kind of likes him, and all of that, and since God cannot just destroy the whole world, he'll be saved. No. Noah was righteous, yes. Noah had found favor in the sight of God, yes. But in spite of that, Noah had to act in knowledge. He acted by knowledge. He acted by prophetic information. He knew he needed to build something. And then he had the pattern for exactly what to build. And then Noah began to build. Now, many people in church are not building yet. They're just carrying on. They're just meeting the day-to-day needs. They're just meeting the challenges that come to them. Christianity for them is about how to overcome the day-to-day challenges. Why there are challenges, and I don't deny that, and we should pay attention to dealing with those things. But how about the bigger picture? How about where we're going? How about our situation within the end of the age? How about the big things, that are happening in the world? How about the prophetic warning that the Lord is bringing, that danger is coming, judgment is coming? We're at the last age. We're at the end of the world. How about those things? What are you building? We see from the text in the book of Hebrews, and then also from the historic account in the book of Genesis, that Noah built an ark, and then he entered the ark, and the ark was what saved him. So what you build, what you are building now, is what will save you. And so the big question is, what you are building right now, can it save you? Can it save you against the darkness of these days? Will it save you against the inflation and the rising cost of things? Will it save you, when they start cloning humans, and when the world checks into that lawless era of Mad Max, of soulless creatures, when Nephilims and zombies, walk the earth, in the forms of humans? Will it save you? What you're building, if the economy of the earth fails, and they say if you don't take this cheap, or if you don't accept the LGBTQ thing, or this and that, and we're going to lock down your economy, we're going to frustrate your ability to buy and sell. When you come into that condition where we cannot freely buy and sell, do you have the capacity to receive from another realm? Can you tap into heaven's economy? Have you built the way to do that? Are you presently living off of heaven's economy, or are you still totally dependent upon the systems of the earth, the economies of the earth, the government of the earth? Are you building anything at all? Are you building out of this world? See the way Jesus lived. Jesus wasn't dependent on the earth. Jesus wasn't, for 3.5 years, he moved about to the ministry team of at least 12 men that followed him, and very occasionally there were more. There were some of the women with them, and Jesus took care of these people, and all of that. And how did he have his needs met? Occasionally he would work a miracle. He would get them to catch a fish that has a gold coin in his mouth, or he would multiply loaves, or do something. But one way or the other, Jesus was not stranded. He knew how to tap into another power and live off another world. What are you learning? Have you learned to live off another world? Have you learned to live off the word of God? Have you learned to live off heaven's economy? What really are you building? I want you to take time to think about this. Some people will hear this warning, and then they'll continue to carry on their lives like the people in the days of Noah. They will not revise their activities. They will not even revise the church they're going to, and all of those things. You go to a church where nobody is telling you how to prepare for the last days. Nobody is telling you how to build into the realm of the spirit. You're not getting more prophetic. You're not getting more apostolic. You're not seeing the kingdom in view. You're not being aligned to the intent and purposes of God, and yet you will not leave because it's your townsman, your countryman, or for some other sentimental reason you want to be there. Meanwhile, down the road is another church, that may not be as touchy as the one you're attending right now, but they're teaching the truth over there. They're preparing you for the last days. They're equipping you for the times to come. And many people would not go to such places because of flimsy or carnal or very childish reasons. Many times it beats me when I think about, the way church people make decisions, the way, believers make decisions. I think it was in the first video I said, it's not my place to berate the church and to diss the church and to cast aspersions of a church. But I've seen that many times church people can be just full of words and words and words. They don't listen, they don't act, they don't obey, they don't do things. I'm sorry, because I also understand that, because I've been like that too. Many times in my life, I just get stuck with religion, stuck with my traditions, stuck with the past, and I'm not responding to the real-time actions of God presently. If that is you, please think about it today. Noah built something that saved both he and his household. What are you building? What he built engaged the crisis of his day. So the crisis of Noah's day was a flood, it was water. And what Noah was building had the capacity to engage the water. He built, an ark. He didn't build maybe a car or an aeroplane or something. He actually built something that could float in the water, that could engage the water. So the thing you're building, can it engage the darkness of our days, the crisis of our days? First of all, you got to understand what is the nature of the crisis that is coming upon the earth. And what I'm building, what I'm being taught in church, what I'm laboring into, the scriptures I'm reading, the things I'm taking hold of in my faith, does it have the capacity to engage this crisis that I have defined? What are the crises of our day? And what you're building, can it engage the crisis of our times? Think about this today, people of God, and I'll see you in the next podcast. God bless you.